Alrighty, welcome back. It is time to jump into game number 3. We are tied up 1-1. Hanwha Life able to bring it back in game number 2 in a pretty big way. And now, DAMWON, they're going to have to really respect the Yone.
Yeah, I wonder what their plan is now. As you were mentioning, I think it is DAMWON's side selection at this current time. I would imagine so. And do you just try to run it back with a Yone ban, or do you just try to play better against it? Like, yeah, Jovi's Yone is fantastic, as we all know. He kind of single-handedly carried that game to the position where the rest of his team could kind of follow up. And if you could just remove that, then, you know, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Or do you just try to mix it up? Maybe you want to go to red side yourself. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, what the preference is going to be.
Yeah.
Because I'm not certain, you know? Limited data because of the best of one format and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten to see too much what the preferred sides are going to be. Obviously, we did have after game 1. I suppose Hanwha Life select to be on the red side again, so maybe red side's kind of edging out ahead of blue these days as far as preference, but we kind of have to see what exactly, you know, how DAMWON feels about it, because maybe DAMWON feels a little bit differently.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what side they do choose, but I think the pick ban is something to look at. Like,
for sure.
If you are going to leave the Yone available, what, you know, are you just going to do the same thing? Like, if they pick blue, like, are they just going to pick the same exact comp? Like,
or do you have a counter available?
There were some issues, like, you know, playing into the Kennen with the Aatrox Olaf is not always great.
No.
So engaging is a little bit difficult. So they brought a little bit less poke and more engage, which is something I said in the pick ban. But especially once you got behind, then the Aatrox and the Olaf just stopped doing things.
Yeah.
And it was like, we can get picks if they make mistakes, which Chovy did. But at the same time, if we engage and we get pummeled by Slicing Maelstrom on a Fed Kennen and also the 11-1 deft bullet time, like, you can't engage into that. So there were some holes in the pick ban there for DAMWON's side, especially from behind. I think that in their mind they were just like, we're just going to bulldoze them again. Let's just let's do it quicker with Aatrox. But I think you have to have a very different mindset, as they will choose blue and ban Yone.
Okay, well, first ban on the Yone, Pantheon Samira again from the side of Hanwha Life. You know, did we just see same bans yet again? Renekton here for DAMWON. So Akali currently available. Could be looking to secure that for themselves, or unless Hanwha Life wants to ban it right now.
Yeah, I think that's what they're asking themselves. Do we leave the Akali available? Because we know that Showmaker can just, like, in much in the way that Chovy would erupt on the Yone, I think Showmaker could do potentially the same thing on the Akali, not to mention that it can be flexed. And that is going to leave Graves available, so we don't have to see Olaf again.
He gets his first Graves here of the series. Good little gambit actually being run here, but what does that leave now for Hanwha Life? There's still a lot of solid priority junglers on the board. I mean, Cad has not been traded out, so could just go for you know, a bit of the same, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So MF and Lilia again, the first round picks for Hanwha Life.
Yeah, so now the question is for DAMWON, you know, Syndra Jhin looked pretty good in game 1. You don't have to deal with the Yone lane again. Can we just run it back? Maybe they want to pick one and then a support. I think that might work out well. You know, go for like a Leona and then choose some other kind of AD carry. We'll have to wait and see, though, because we do have the Syndra locked in. Showmaker's third game of Syndra now in a row. But it doesn't look like they want to follow up with Jhin, or at least they're putting a lot of thought into it before just going ahead and locking that one, because I don't know about just running all that back. They want to mix up their support, and they might do it with the Maokai that, again, did get banned out twice on the second phase by Hanwha Life on red.
Yeah, they've been banning that out later on. So now that it's still available, DAMWON Gaming just going to be waiting as far as the ADC pick. Which means that Hanwha Life likely going to be attacking Ghost a bit with their next set of bans.
Annie.
Surely not.
Joey's been watching Ellis' stream a little bit too much. We are going to have the Galio coming out here. I think Annie got a small nerf on 1025. I don't know if it was the hotfix update, though. The mid-patch update that gave her a little bit of a ban. But we are not playing on that hotfix update.
We're not.
And Jhin is going to be banned away. That seems to be pretty obvious. They want to take away Leona here, so they're giving credit to Chovy playing the Galio and thinking that Vista could potentially still hop onto the Leona here as the 4th pick for Hanwha Life. So they take it away.
Nice banned out, so limiting the options for Ghost. Ezreal still available and seems to be...
You seem to be a big fan of that Ezreal.
I just think that it's the most standard that you could go for at the moment. A ban on the Aurelia. Does Khan want to... Ooh.
Okay.
I was going to say, does Khan want to play Jace? But it's going to be the Jace taken now from Morgan with the Aurelia off the board.
Yeah, Morgan definitely a confident individual himself, and they just hard lock that in that Jace. They say, okay, I mean, sure, take away the Aurelia, we'll play Jace, whatever. And it'll be interesting to see, okay, the return of Senna.
Okay.
And maybe a Gragas, so adding some more utility to their lineup, it looks like. And the Senna, something we do not see often nowadays, but still, you know.
This
Not
is going,
bad.
Yeah, this is going to the outer reaches as far as the meta that we've been having here in the KeSPA Cup. Ezreal would have been, you know, one of the big ones. Kalista, one of the other ADCs on the edge of the meta. But yeah, going for Senna, something completely new for us. And with the lock-in on the Ornn, so we're going to have some Chovy Jace mid.
Yeah. So, interesting shenanigans by Hanwha Life there at the end of the pick ban. Just mixing things up and flexing a little bit, as you can see. So the Galio will, in fact, be on the bottom side. And that means we're just going to kind of get a, you know, tank top lane. Just have them kind of bonk their heads into each other, essentially, over and over. They both will have a lot of tankiness and sustain, especially for the Gragas. And at the same time, Chovy is really trying to up the pressure here, it looks like, in the mid lane. He had a lot of success with the Yone pick, so try to go for a dominant laner once again in the Jace.
We see the Duskblade Jace come out. Chovy, come on.
Oh, man.
Go all in. Assassination Jace play.
Wow.
It would be a bold move, but Chovy is making bold moves this entire time.
Maybe he'll bring it into the meta.
Would be nice to see. But I think we're probably just going to have the Eclipse in mid. Showmaker again on the Syndra. Let's see how he manages this time versus the Jace. Whether or not DAMWON Gaming can move up 2-1 or if Hanwha Life is going to be able to do that. And might have, you know, winner of this is at series point. Try to close it out and go into the grand final. The pressure absolutely going to be on. There's been a lot of highs, a lot of lows for Hanwha Life. This would be a major high if they could take one step closer to knocking out DAMWON Gaming. Let's see if they can do it as we load onto the Rift for game number 3. And here we are, clustered in the top side of the river. Canyon. Oh boy. Puck comes out to the skies, is there. With the twisted advance from Barrel to get a lot of damage now onto Cad, who does have to flash away. All in all, it's going to be a 1 for 2 in Summoner spells. Ignite from Vista, Flash from Cad, and Flash from Canyon.
Pretty interesting trade there. It seemed like Hanwha Life really were expecting that kind of an invade with the comp that they had. Not really able to, either side not really able to get too many deep wards on in or anything like that. Except that one. Down on the bottom side, Deft able to sneak in.
Oh yeah.
Lay one down, says, okay, let's set up the tri-brush play.
Spotted, they'll just make it rain. Hit him with a comet.
So.
This Yeah, just cut away. Don't need to be looking at that top lane right now.
Wait, I want to see Gragas throw some barrels. That's what I want to see here.
Perhaps some Ornn just breathing on him as well.
You'll notice that Ghost has picked up a support item here. So Beryl is going to be CSing. So it's kind of like fasting Senna. Once again here at the end of 2020.
He's taking quite a bit of damage. Going to trade it back a bit, and we'll get some nice shots on the def to soften him up. So all in all, we'll be going to a bit of an advantage now in the HP bar. Biscuit's going to be there for Ghost as well.
Well.
And here we are again.
Please avert your eyes. Nothing to see here. Yeah, just of course, Gragas going to be sustaining out if he ever takes any extra damage from the brittle from the Ornn. So just going to be having some fun there, surviving. Here up in the mid lane, a accelerated shock blast will sail wide. Showmaker doing a good job of keeping Chovy at arm's length, trying to poke him down a little bit. Just a couple of Scout of the Weeks, though. Got to be careful about missing that and having that on cooldown against a Jace who can take a very aggressive trade afterwards if you do lose that cooldown. And speaking of the junglers, I mean, after that very aggressive invade that we did have, where they both had to blow their flashes, nothing really else much is happening. We're just going to have the both of them kind of farm it out.
Yeah.
And if that does happen, I feel like that is going to benefit CAD. You know, it's not going to be like games 1 and 2 where jungle got behind for one reason or another.
Well, they're looking for a collapse on the CAD right now. They know that he still doesn't have the flash. Barrel's going to go over the wall to advance. Does find him. And that's going to be a nice handoff. The double buffs to Showmaker. First blood there for DAMWON Gaming.
Okay, never mind. You know, I just throw out a quick caster curse and...
I think it's going to be really good for CAD right now.
Yeah. Much better situation as he gets totally pummeled.
Absolutely destroyed. Well,
that's... I love how they were able to read into that and catch him out.
Yep.
Nice trade here from Showmaker.
Just going to be even better as he weaves in the auto attack to the red buff to take away. So, yeah, this is going to be a painful mid lane now. Double buff Syndra.
Yeah.
Not going to be the greatest thing to try to face up against. Just interrupt on the back instead of just waiting for his moment.
Ghost angry.
Yeah, got him.
Yep. Beryl going to be stacking up. Yeah, he's angry. Look at him. Trying to land some stuff on a Vista.
I actually really like this the Spectral Sickle start for the Senna alongside the Maokai. Because the biggest issue I think with the Maokai lately is, you know, if you don't get ahead early, you just have no way of really being back in the game becoming tanky. This very much helps enable that a lot more by playing the half ADC, half support. As Vista just going to be taking sampling damage. Barrel's going to have some incredible damage figures by the end of this game, I'm sure.
That's the thing, you know, you go Imperial Mandate. And I'll hold that thought because we got to look at this pick. So there's just, he's just clearing out a ward in the river. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I should be fine, but Beryl just, you know, they see him around the corner and Beryl can just easily flash over. And as you mentioned, he still didn't have flash and they knew it. So that's why they were able to collapse like that. It looked like the bottom lane had some good priority from DAMWON to open up that kind of a play as well. And the timing just turned out to be perfect to enable them to hand those double buffs over to the Syndra, make that lane even easier. And yeah, for the Maokai down on the bottom side, you can go the Imperial Mandate and begin to stack up some really fun numbers for yourself, but also with the extra gold that you're mentioning, can eventually become a bit tankier as well.
Beryl forward. A bit of damage there. Vista's going to go back in. Gets the knockup. Beryl falling low, jumps over the side. Sliver of HP will get taken down in the end. Vista earns the kill with the ignite. Jump forward. Showmaker almost eliminated. Has to retreat back underneath of the tower. Whereas Canyon will find a kill onto his jungle counterpart in CAD. Ult is out and Depth is down. Hits him from downtown 4-1. DAMWON Gaming to accelerate the pace of this game.
Yeah, and this was the trade-off. You know, you give the Graves to Canyon again. You ban away the Akali. You have to wonder to yourself, what is scarier?
Yeah, Canyon's Graves or Showmaker's Akali.
Yeah, and at the same time, DAMWON got the ban onto the Onyx. So it's like they just won so hard from those first 3 bans and the way it went, and Hanwha Life kind of backed themselves into a corner from there. And yeah, just really cool stuff. Chovy here getting traded on a little bit, but the supports eventually do come in. And this is kind of crazy the way this went down. It was two teleports.
So
yeah, 2 teleports for 1 here. So the first one comes in from the Ornn, but then we got double teleport from blue team. They eventually came in here. Showmaker just barely able to survive. And to get out of there, actually.
just hit 6, too.
Yeah, he just hit 6 and gets in there. I don't think it was a double teleport, actually. I think it was just Showmaker making his way in. But either way, able to respond and do a bit better for his team. And then obviously Canyon just smurfing there at the end.
Yeah, I believe Khan and Morgan had just used theirs previously to get back to the top lane, so didn't have it available.
Well, the Ornn was in the bottom side, so I think Ornn teleported and Syndra teleported. So those are like the 2 teleports that happened. Khan was in the top side, and that's why he's got a nice CS lead here. Just confusing everybody on the stage.
Well, continuing to press forward. Good old Phage coming in now for the setup.
Yeah. Gonna be having some fun there. And the game did kind of open wide open from that last play because Khan is getting very far ahead in the top side after the Ornn wasn't able to do too much with his teleport down in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Canyon just went ahead and took the Rift Herald right at 8 minutes. So we hadn't seen much Dragon control outside of CAD, you know, poking at it a couple of times earlier. And they'll get it now, but still, a lot of pressure now up in the top side as they're double invading here, it looks like. One getting in there. Showmaker building the Seeker's Arm Guard first to try to survive against a bunch of that burst damage from the Jace.
I'm curious to see exactly where this set is going to end up going. What the overall build path is going to look like. You know, just kind of anticipate the Black Mist Scythe at this juncture, but beyond that, I am not 100% sure where he's going to take this.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen a tier picked up yet, so not sure about the Manamune for now.
I think they would have to have come in by now, so maybe unlikely to see that happen.
Just wait. He is coming into the mid lane now. Looks like he's going to see us a little bit. Maokai down in the bottom lane, so he's got a solo lane to himself, it looks like. Khan is body slamming up north. Canyon not going to be baited by those simple tricks.
I guess maybe Divine Sunderer for setup? Trying to think what else what Fate built into.
Yeah, I'm like trying to figure out what the Korean observers are looking at right now. I think maybe just some of the sustain from the Gragas.
Well, they find a stun on the Chovy, who's low mana. Gerald comes out, get a nice charge off. Good point gold going out to the 2 members here. Well, Ghost will just go ahead and mow down the minions.
Yeah, once again, I think it's the 3rd game in a row. DAMWON just placing an immense amount of pressure onto the mid lane turret because of their insane Rift Herald control. Pretty sure they're 5 for 5 right now in 3 games over the Rift Heralds, so a bit of a problem for our Hanwha Life junglers. They really haven't been able to keep up and ever really pressure the Rift Heralds because of the way the 3 early games have gone for them. A little bit of a problem. Barrel down here alone for now. Looks like he's trying to bait them in.
Okay, taunt to the land. Yeah, looking to get We'll sleep in. We'll find Canyon. We'll take a quick nap. Root comes down. Can they get more? Takes a little bit of damage, but no one's going to be dying at least yet.
Yeah. Canyon with the very satisfying Greaves combos, plus the Gale Force, able to just position himself perfectly, do a little bit of extra damage. So he hasn't been able to, you know, fully extend his lead over the Cinder. Yes, he does have a 1-wolf lead and a CS gap of about 25, but hasn't been able to find any big kills or anything at this juncture. But obviously, a lead is a lead.
Yeah.
And he should be feeling pretty good about that one. But the rest of his team, not really in the same scenario, not really in the same spot. And that's the main problem, I suppose, for Chovy right now.
Well, with the wide zoom out, we can see that there's going to be an initiated swap coming through from the side of Hanwha Life, sending Deft up towards the top side of the map, where right now Khan is just skirmishing with Morgan. Body Slam is used, but let's see if he gets actually caught here. Moves down the river, Body Slam away, making sure that he does not get slept. Pick up the Honey Fruit, and he'll be all right.
Yeah, the amount of sustain that the Gragas has is unbelievable. Just Body Slam away, just gain some health.
Yep.
Feel pretty good about yourself, and oh yeah, I'm full health again. Let me barrel and top myself off.
Barrel's in the bottom lane.
Huh. There you go.
Ah, jokes.
Maybe that's what his name is based off. I don't know, actually. I feel like we asked him one time in an interview, either this year or last year, but not 100% sure. We used to just joke that it was like a Pokemon. But
could be.
Yeah.
I don't really know many outside of the first 3 iterations of the game.
I thought you were gonna say the first 3 Pokemon.
Yeah, I know.
Charmander, Squirtle, and the leaf one.
It wouldn't even be in that order, would it? It would be, you know.
Is it Bulbasaur?
Is it Bulbasaur first?
Yeah, I think so.
So it'd be Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. And then...
Okay, well,
yeah.
If you're going off of Pokedex numbers, okay, that's...
Yeah.
I thought you were...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the first 3.
Yeah, I guess so, technically.
You know, I actually had my father looked for my old Pokemon stuff recently, because I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, I have a lot of cards.
Yeah, you and everybody else.
And they've been sitting in like a a folder, with proper sleeves and everything like that. And they should be in good condition. He happened to find them, and he's sending them to me. But he also found my old digital Pokedex toy, and it still works. The batteries somehow haven't leaked acid throughout the system, and it still actually functions. So he's gonna mail me my Pokedex.
There you go.
So I'll be able to tell you very distinctively what the first several Pokemon.
I think you are right, by the way. I think it is Bulbasaur, Venusaur, or Ivysaur, Venusaur.
Pretty certain it is, but I could be wrong. I'm wrong about many things.
You've been spot on tonight.
No. A couple flubs here and there, but
looks
Rift Herald going to be taken. Canyon
6
is
for
going to
6.
be finishing that off. They should now know that Canyon is in the vicinity. He's definitely spot Ghost as he's sitting on top of a control ward.
And even with Chovy dominating CS as he always does, doesn't look super, nice and dandy, not super clean in that mid lane. He's actually getting actively poked out. And he even has 3 control wards on the south side of his turret, so kind of struggling there a bit. He's going to have to give up the mid turret as well after getting chunked down to below 40% health. Didn't want to get one comboed by the Syndra.
Yeah. Does have his Eclipse done, but still going to be waiting on the Metamune, so slowing down the potential build coming through, whereas Deft is in the inverse situation. Is on his way towards that Muramana, but also has to get some grievous wounds, so we'll be a while until we see the Gale Force come through for him. And there you go, Muramana's dead.
There you go.
All done.
It's, I like the art on that one. I feel like it's pretty cool. Ghost still kind of hanging around, truly playing the support role this time around. Level 8 that is. And he's even ahead of Vista in that sense, I suppose. But this Maokai slowly building up more and more items. He's kind of got a little bit of a little bear going on for now, but he'll get there with all of that extra gold that he has got for himself.
Well, Canyon coming around the side. Great cast positions him right in front of the Graves, and this is not going to be done. I mean, he had him from all angles if he moved towards the tower. And Q was going to finish him off. Yeah, rough position, Morgan.
Yeah, and the burst was pretty insane. I mean, this Ornn does have that
Yeah.
Sunfire Aegis completed at this moment in time, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Canyon just way too far ahead right now on the Graves, and now it looks like Jovi's going to get TP'd on.
Does have some backup coming through from Vista, who's going to come in with a hero's entrance. Doesn't find the knock-up onto anybody. Jumps over to the side. Barrel taunted in. Ult going to be coming forward. Looking for the roots, and it will just catch Vista by himself. Jovi ducks in behind the Galio. On wrapping around the backside, looking to cut somebody off. Doesn't yet have the explosive cask available. 3/4 of the way off cooldown. They will just go ahead, eliminate the tower, and continue to press their way into the jungle. Canyon starts up the Raptors. We'll be able to take those away. And all in all, it looks like it's just going to be, you know, a lot of, oh no, a lot of aggression shown from the side of DAMWON, just pushing forward, forcing Hanwha Life to step back.
Yeah, nice little teleport play there. They're able to get that turret, but Deft, he doesn't seem too bothered. He'll just be farming by himself down on the bottom side.
Man, can we talk about how Deft is more than Flame Horizon against Ghost? Oh my god. What a brutal showing.
What is the Senna doing?
There's definitely some people out there asking, why isn't the Senna farming anything?
Take a look at this. Oh.
Destroyed.
Chunked.
Meanwhile, up in the top lane, Barrel going for the 1v1 versus Jovi. He is a manaless Maokai. And you know, he had some confidence that he might be able to win that.
Ghost is
There's the
dead.
blast, yeah, going to be going out on the Ghost, but it is just going to do absolutely nothing to save him. Too far forward with no support whatsoever. Will get picked off. So second kill there for Hanwha Life.
Got bowling balled, and there was no escape for him.
Now they don't have him for the spawn of this Infernal Dragon. He's going to come up just as it does pop. So as long as they can delay the take on it, then...
Yeah, they've got some ways to do it. You know, they have this Rift Herald in the mid lane, but it does eventually die. Morgan using a lot of his health to get on in there. And he's got TP available if they did actually want to contest at the Infernal. But it looks like everybody on the side of Hanwha just went back. So should be a free Drake here to Canyon.
Yep. We're taking that. Showmaker just delaying.
Why is he backing
Morgan.
out of control? What is happening?
He just wasn't paying attention. He was looking at the shop.
Maybe he was right outside of the brush.
Either way, silly place to back. It does get delayed a little bit further, and yeah, the Infernal Drake was taken with relative ease. And yeah, because of all of the gold feeding that happened for Barrel, he just gets to go 1v1 against a Jace occasionally in the top lane now.
Yeah, the Jace with some lethality, but not going to be super great up against the Sunfire Aegis and the Glacial Shroud that are already completed for the Maokai. So just stacking armor here on the side of Barrel.
That was the Divine Sunderer. No Ornn on their team though, so we won't be seeing some of the rather silly upgrades. As we learned just 2 days ago, myself and Atlas, it turns into Deicide.
Yes.
If we were to upgrade it, which literally just means to kill a divine being.
Yeah, so rather than sundering with divine power, you get to kill gods, I suppose.
Effectively slaughter them. You turn into Kratos from God of War.
I like it. It's a fun game. I only played the first one, I think, for PS2.
The whole, I'd say any of the main release ones are great. I can't speak to the PSP games, but
yeah,
like the PS4 God of War,
good.
A+.
There you go.
It's really cool to bring in the Nordic mythologies as well. Gets away from The classic Greek stuff.
Yeah. I think I only played that first one, so. But it was really fun, so I would, if I actually bought consoles, I would play it more. I don't even know if it's available for PC, might have been. Well, there you go.
Otherwise, I would definitely have picked them up for that.
I got a bit of a lull in this game.
Yeah.
A bit of a lull state. It's, you know, everybody's kind of just scaling up, chilling out.
Oh, they're going to get the jump here on the cat. He gets rooted. He's got nowhere to go. He desperately wanted to take the blast cone, but they just don't even give him the opportunity. 4-0-1 now.
Got collected.
Yeah. 500 gold bounty on this Graves' head. And now they're going to be looking for the inner turret in mid. Maokai ult already going to be moving forward here. It's the route onto one.
Yep.
Literally
zoning. Literally zoning ultimate. It's what Maokai is best at. He's got the frozen heart now. Don't see that every day, but we actually have one on the Gragas too. So both of them have picked up that item at the same exact time, interestingly enough. And the longer this game goes along, I mean, the Senna is going to be able to, you know, the fasting Senna that we have had here, even though he's not CSing, he's building up stacks of his passive. So he just gets to scale anyway, even without the gold. So if you're new to the idea, that's kind of the basic idea behind it. So she gets to scale even though she's not farming up as much. And Canyon is just scaling out of his mind right now because, I mean, it's like he's so full from Christmas dinner, but he's being fed more and more presents. Just eating more and more enemy champions. And he's kind of uncontrollable now for the side of Hanwha Life. He's just going to burst anyone down that he sees.
Yeah.
There's not much tankiness outside of the Ornn, basically. I mean, I suppose Galio's got some, but...
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's people who thinking at the start of this game, like, how are they going to kill the Ornn? When the Ornn gets stacked up, it's like, well, they just won't let that happen.
Yeah.
It's just going to stay so far out in front of the Ornn that no matter how many items he gets, it probably just won't really matter. And obviously, if they can delay this to the 40-minute mark, then that Ornn absolutely is not going to be taking too much damage. But likelihood of that seeming slimmer and slimmer. They're pushing forward, though, down to the river. 4-man stack here. Scouting around, trying to find any kind of pick and be ready for this Infernal Drake that's going to be spawning in 17 seconds. Barrel already in there. The dance finds this. The cat has to flash away. A lot of damage comes out onto Khan, however. Nearly gets eliminated. Dangerous Grasp will push forward, finds Cad. They're looking for the finish, but the hero's entrance will keep him alive for a bit longer. Not wanting to overextend. Khan is still so very low. Morgan comes in from the back, gets the knockoff. Finds Barrel, they take him low, they take him down. Def finds the kill. Is this Hanwha Life's way back into the game? Chovy starts up the Dragon. Shock Blast goes forward, does get the connection onto Canyon. As Ghost tries to heal them back up. Dragon going lower and lower. Spike comes through, and will be Canyon taking that one for himself. Def pops the bullet time, doesn't manage to find too many targets, but they do collapse in onto Khan, finish him off. 2 kills to the side of Hanwha Life, but the Dragon and now Soul Point is there for DAMWON.
Yeah, not the cleanest fight there for DAMWON, but at least they get the objective, as you're saying. I mean, it doesn't really matter that they lost Barrel and Khan if they can pick up the objective anyway. And that sort of speaks to the advantage that DAMWON have right now in terms of gold, because Canyon was still up and full health, and so was Showmaker. So at the same time, you know, even though you're killing the tanks, there's still got so much scariness on the side of DAMWON that you don't exactly want to fully engage, especially with Cad low on health. And they weren't really able to find a very clean engage either. It was pretty broken up, which isn't bad for, you know, like Lilia, Jace, and being able to poke out.
Yeah.
As Khan just barely survives, so he's able to eventually go back and teleport back into the fight, but then just to die immediately. As Chovy nearly takes him out here, delays his back nicely. Barrel gets caught going in, expecting a little bit more help, but with Ornn there in the front to soak up a lot of that damage. You can see Morgan at half health.
Yeah.
They were able to nicely get in there. This is a very aggressive teleport from the side of Khan, but it actually distracts them from picking up that Drake.
Yeah, I mean, they all collapse in on top of him and they get rid of the Fat Man. So it's, you know, worthwhile. It's definitely better to do that than to allow for Hanwha Life to take the Dragon, but I can see a bit of a counter push coming through in the mid lanes. They're going to be looking to knock down this tower. Beryl on the flank, trying to make his way forward. Nature's Grasp does come through, gets implicit advance in on the Vista. The chain CC coming through, and the Gallia will get taken down. Showmaker finding the kill, but oh man! Jovi absolutely snipes down Ghost. Gets rid of the Senna. Syzygy upgrade helping to do some serious work there.
I mean, you just one-tapped the Senna from half health. Jovi is getting a little bit out of hand himself. And even though they have a little bit of a deficit here, about 6,000 gold, 27 minutes in, it's not massive. And you've got some tools yourself to try to actually push damage onto the somewhat squishy core, I would say, of DAMWON. Yes, Beryl and Khan are both super beefy and tanky, but if you can land big shock blasts onto the squishy members in the back, you're going to be having a fun time.
I'm Khan. I start to get concerned when I see Jovi sprinting at me. See the shock blast doing quite a bit of damage, even to him. With that Sunfire Aegis as well as the Frozen Heart, still going to be taking a pretty significant amount of damage.
Yeah. I like how they made it look like a heart now.
Yeah.
It actually, you know, matches the name.
They start up this Baron, but they're spotted on a ward there. Ghost will now see that. And they'll pull off and just get the Scuttle Crab ready to go. Jovi is zooming around this mid lane. The Yomo's completed.
And we have kind of relaxed once again into a little bit of a lull. Just waiting for the next Infernal, I would imagine. Because that's really where the sparks are going to fly. That last fight was pretty close, and yes, DAMWON did get another Infernal, but still, I mean, the way that the last fight looked, there is still a chance for Hanwha to take this one back. So Vista kind of gets caught here, but take a look at Ghost in the back. He flashes and still gets hit by it after taking a big chunk actually from Cat right before. So that's where that extra bit of damage comes in. And, you know, Senna obviously not very tanky, so pretty easy to chunk her down. That's especially what that lethality is going to be really nice for on that Jace.
Oh, we have a second upgrade, Typhoon, acquired for Daft. So power coming in now for Hanwha. TP going to be used. Morgan arriving. Smoke screen thrown down by Canyon. We look to poke out where possible. Still 30 seconds and already this much posturing around the Dragon's Pit. Hanwha Life love to take somebody out of the fight or at least force them to recall before this Dragon comes up.
You can see the way that DAMWON are positioning. Beryl and Khan in the front. They want to block shock blasts, and if Jovi can't get poke damage to start, it's not going to look too great for the side of Hanwha.
Ooh, Showmaker does get slapped. Nature's Grasp comes out just to guarantee protect him. Khan plays up forward. Quite low. Ult out from Ghost keeps him alive a little bit longer. A lot of damage, however, onto the Gragas. Gonna have to be taking some drinks and try to get back into this.
They're gonna burst
Dragon started up. Yep, 3K remaining. Canyon right on top of this. Cat pushes forward. The Dragon has already gone the way of DAMWON Gaming, but now can they get out safely? Vista playing up forward into the front to knock up onto Khan. Stun, however, comes out from Showmaker, scattering the weak. That will be the first kill going the way of DAMWON. Do they continue to play forward or do they back off? It looks like it's going to be the latter. HP bars so dangerously low across the board.
Yeah, and it looks like we had some pings onto the Baron, but they're not going to go crazy in that manner. They're going to take the Infernal Soul and run with it at this point in time. Those fights were pretty scary. I mean, there were not obvious wins for DAMWON. You saw that even Khan, with all of his tankiness and even more armor and health stacking, he goes in and he still nearly gets immediately blown up. There's so much damage in the Hanwha Life side. So take a look at this. He pops in, it's like, oh crap, I got to get out right away. But still, enough poke damage comes out and enough health on the rest of the DAMWON members to actually gain position here. You can see that once they're out of position, Hanwha They never really have a chance. A really nice cast there to deny any chance of a steal onto the Dragon. Huge amount of AoE damage eventually does come out from Canyon and Showmaker specifically, and the bullet time, he was just so low that he couldn't get into position for a good one, so kind of desperately threw it out there. But it was really that initial poke that they got with the collateral damage that pushed Hanwha out of position and made them a lot less confident.
Jovi. But I got caught there. Explosive cast knocks him back down the river. Canyon jumping forward absolutely destroys him. Nature's Grasp was used aggressively towards the Jace, not towards enemy base, so it doesn't find the roots on the remaining members of Hanwha Life. Baron, however, does get started up while the rest of the team looks to just gatekeep Hanwha Life away from the pit. Khan waiting at body slam at a moment's notice, can go over the wall. There's a barrel out. Will not find too much damage. Full time going to be used. Does shred Khan down quite low, but the Baron will be taken regardless. DAMWON look to move up 2-1 into this series. We'll go ahead and get a replay on the Jace.
Yeah, Toby, so he pushes the lane and then he face checks the river. So I really don't know what the idea is here. Khan has so much armor stack against the lethality that it's even going to be difficult to 1v1 him. Not to mention that you're pretty much on the enemy side and they're ahead of you. They have more map control.
Yeah.
Their team is going to get there first, so I'm not really sure what the idea was. Just a bit of a mistake there from Chovy, gets caught out. Not the first time we've seen that, as DAMWON seem to be chasing a bit here once again, but Hanwha Life don't want any piece of them now.
Yeah, certainly not. Just have to kind of pull away. 5-0-2 for Canyon. I mean, just the items are just disgusting for this guy at the moment.
Yeah, he can kind of just clap anyone except the Ornn.
Even then, could very well might be able to do so. Khan, however, trying to stay alive. Body slams away. Will get slept. Guy will be able to finish him off. But Beryl has arrived on the backside of the TP. He's looking to finish off Depth. And with Canyon tossing out the equalizer, he will finish him off. Morgan in the brush. Ooh. That's going to make a double. That's going to make a triple kill. And maybe if Chovy and Vista were a little bit closer, we could see another pentakill for Canyon. Not going to happen. Instead, they'll lose out on that mid-outer turn as well as the inner. They'll send Beryl back to the base to defend, and the rest of the team is going to be pushing in, looking for the inhibitor. Yeah,
and they should pretty easily be able to pick that one up, even without too much help. The other guys from Hanwha Life still looking to get back.
I mean, there's something in the back. Yeah, they can just keep chasing this. Beryl, the TP is going to come out, need to get vision on him and use the Twisted Advance in order to interrupt that. So it will not happen, but they can at least take the first Nexus Tower, if not still go for the finish.
Ghost lost just 65% of his health.
He's absolutely pounded every single time. There are wards set up for the TP play. Morgan now alive. TP going to be channeling. The side of the brush, heal coming out. Ornhorn going to get called, looking for the knockup. Manages to find two. Showmaker will get taken down. Goes Golden actually first, but still going to be alive. Canyon jumping as far away as he possibly can. Falls low. A sliver of HP remaining.
Wow.
Can he actually stay in this? Ghost waiting at a moment's notice. He jukes it out. They charge forward, flash over the wall. They finally will be able to shut him down. A massive influx of gold now going to Morgan. Khan, as he overstepped. Nature's Grasp will roll through. Slow up the advance of the members of Hanwha Life, who are now getting ready to go on a bit of a counter push off this bottom lane.
Yeah, the second you have any room to breathe, this is when you have to try to get something for your team. You have to try to come back in this game. They would love to take some turrets and at least some of the enemy jungle. And I guess ideally even try to dive this and win, but I don't know if that's realistic.
Still quite low. Morgan, Cat, and Vista all down to about half HP. They have to be careful. Morgan taking the turret shot there. So seems like perhaps this is as good as it's going to get. Will not be able to find a turret. And Showmaker's got to teleport, but something tells me he doesn't want to make the same play that just occurred to them. Instead, he's going to go up and just get his blue buff.
Yeah, okay.
He wants to have blue before the Elder Dragon fight.
Exactly. Just realized that's coming up in 15 seconds, so good spot there And you can see here, Morgan doing a good job trying to avoid any scout of the week as he wants to make sure that ultimate does land. And this chase went on for an incredibly long time. Canyon survived for a lot longer than they expected, able to QSS out of that one, I suppose.
Oh, well, here we go. Elder Dragon down below half HP. Beryl trying to hold up as many people as he possibly can. Maroon's doing a wonderful job. Now that's going to be the Elder Dragon plus the Infernal Soul here for the side of DAMWON Gaming, pushing forward. The cast goes off. That is a Galio gone. Showmaker finds that kill. Chovy still hovering around mid, but you gotta get it. You gotta get out of here.
He's pretty fast, I guess.
He is pretty quick. So seems like he's just gonna keep going for the base. He says, "I'll race ya."
Yeah, I'm going for your turret, boys. They're like, do we back?
Do we stop him? Do we just go for it?
Khan's like, do I back? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Well, that's gonna be a stun.
Okay,
oh my God. He's gonna try to turn it around.
What?
Showmaker goes golden, but here's Ghost over the wall, and Showmaker will find the final blow in the end. But man, Chovy almost turning that one on its head.
Yeah, League of Burst damage here in this game, especially Jace versus Syndra. that was pretty funny. Chovy just delaying a lot of time actually by running it down mid. And you can see here that it's just the tank show from the side of DAMWON. Two beefy boys.
Very sadly just rooted in the jungle.
They couldn't help but be distracted. And I really don't know how he got that kill. I guess it was just burning down from the Leandries from some extra damage earlier on. And now we have Showmaker at full build. We're already about 40 minutes in, so...
Yeah, it's been a long one.
We're going to have a lot of full builds coming in here soon. And let's see. So the Elder taken. And now they're just going to try to turn their sights here onto the Baron before they do go for any of these other objectives.
One day Galio will get a bit of that.
All right, finally get to see some stacks actually just covering them, but 112. So,
pretty huge.
Extra range. He is just chunking people down now as he's got his own set of items.
Pop quiz. What is the name of Lilia's mythic now?
You definitely look. It's definitely that really long one, right?
This is, I believe, Vespertide.
Oh, okay. So not the one I was thinking of. There's one where it's like the War of Turlandry or something. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. But
I believe I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, they're just poking it down with the Baron here. It looks like
Reliquary of the Golden Dawn, perhaps.
That's one of them, but not the one I was thinking.
Okay. Well, pushing into the base now. We'll just be taking it down to the top. Inhib bottom has respawned, but Wade is prepped for mid as well.
Beryl.
They get caught on the Khan as Beryl just brings the minions forward.
So beefy.
Looking to knock down all three Inhibs in all likelihood here. We're trying to finish the game out. Sun goes forward on the Morgan. Just a bit of poke damage. Showmaker and Ghost are both relatively low. Forward, gets a cut knock up there onto Khan. Nature's Grasp rolls forward. Tad in some poor position. Will get taken down, as does Vista. At the beginning of the end, unless Chovy can pull off an absolute miracle. He's already sniped Ghost out of the fight, but needs to do a hell of a lot more if they want to pull off this defense. Stun out onto Morgan. Orn going low, has to try to retreat. Chovy gets the E-off, nearly finishes off Canyon. Oh man, look at the damage from Showmaker. Pops the ult depth, absolutely vanishes, as will the Nexus. 17-10, 40.5 minutes for the game, but DAMWON will be able to take this. They will be moving up 2-1 in this best-of-5 series.
Yeah, so they take that first step forward, closer to the win here, but DAMWON made it really difficult for them. That was not the easy, stompy win that we're used to seeing from DAMWON, where they just, you know, sweep people under the table under 25 minutes. That was a grueling 40-plus minute contest and some really good stuff from the side. Again, I think Chovy was trying to solo carry. It's
he did his damnedest.
I think that's probably going to be the story for a lot of these Hanwha Life games. So if you're a Hanwha Life fan, you know, be ready for that. I hope you're also a Chovy fan.
Hope you like every highlight to just be centered around him. in the mid lane because
depth as well.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just in that game, you know, he even built Lord Dominic's towards the end, but it was like he still couldn't do damage because they just stacked so much armor that it just didn't matter. And all their damage had so much range. I mean, it's Senna, Syndra, and then even Graves has the ability to just, you know, reposition, immediately dash out of your bullet time. So the ability for Deft on the Misfortune to get consistent damage in that game specifically, even from behind, even when they were getting engaged upon, was pretty difficult because you could just get, like, snapped out of thin air like the Thanos snap by a Syndra or a Graves to the point where, like, he couldn't just step up and do sustained damage.
I mean, that's kind of why you want the Gale Force, especially so you have that extra dash if you have to use it in a pursuit, or especially to try to get away when you have somebody like the Maokai or the Gragas running at you. But that's really one of those kind of moments where you would love to have an Eclipse on your side to be getting that 6% max HP proc coming through, because it's really easy to activate as a Misfortune. You just make it rain, auto attack goes off, and you've got it, or even just auto and double tap, and you get that proc coming through. So it makes it a lot easier to shred down the tanks. But, have to go for the Gale Force. Much more standard, at least so far from what we're seeing in professional play. But Eclipse is going to be your favorite one in solo queue, at least, for that reason. But can't make that happen. And it was just the Chovy show. Just him basically one-shotting Ghost a few times and then dying, and then they lose.
And the idea was nice, I suppose. I wonder how it would have looked if they had, like, an Ezreal instead of a Misfortune in that one. I mean, Misfortune was their first pick. And I think that
2 games in a row now.
Yeah. I think that just DAMWON and the lead that they have and the way they drafted, especially for Game 3, worked a lot better against the Misfortune. So maybe they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and think, do we want to prioritize this Misfortune? Maybe we take it, but maybe we prioritize some other picks first. Maybe we try to steal away a Syndra here. Or like I guess you can't steal away the Graves, but...
I mean, I think what it is it's mostly just them panicking after game 1, getting pushed to the brink and going for the Twitch, because that didn't work at all. They lost out on some of their prime picks. The MF was banned away from them. Kai'Sa was gone. Everything that they would want to get their hands on taken off the board, and then now they're so it feels like they're so worried of not having that Misfortune that they just have to draft it early, and then DAMWON's just like, well, okay, then we just take, Graves, and we take this other thing, and yada, yada, yada.
So, I mean, we're going to look at this set of highlights here. Should be a bit of a long one, as the game was. And you can see the teleports that did come in here in this first bottom lane fight, and Showmaker surviving, and then Canyon getting another kill was essentially the biggest deal here, because he's literally smiting minions, and the last minion gives him level 6, and he's able to just get a collateral damage from way down the lane.
Time.
Exactly.
But yeah, Ghost, this was a bit of a head scratcher. He was way too far forward with his support on the opposite end of the map. Beryl was too busy 1v1ing Chovy in the top lane. But yet again, as often is the case whenever he has the Graves, this was entirely all about Canyon. If he was alive, then there was a hope for DAMWON.
Yeah. And Chovy had some big moments, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
But the amount of armor stacking that their front line did, I feel like put a lot of pressure on Cat to try to chip away at their health, as the Lilia, but never really had a good chance to do that. Great cast there from Khan. Secures the Infernal Soul for DAMWON here. There were a lot of fights like these where, it was pretty close, actually. You look at the health bars of both Beryl and Khan, they're getting so much value out of their tanks in that one, just barely securing the Infernal Soul. And just little things like that was what led eventually to the win here from DAMWON. Canyon he's like a sniper on this Graves. Graves on this patch is just insanity.
Yeah.
And I think they may want to take away something else from their ban list. Have they been banning Samira? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you just let Samira go. And you try to...
That's still so concerning, though.
Yeah.
It's been their first ban in all 3 games. Or, well, within the first 3 bans, rather.
Yeah.
For the last 2, it has been the first thing that they take off the board. Then it's the Pantheon.
Doesn't seem like Chovy wants to play Akali as well. Like, you could leave both Graves and Akali up, but
Force him to pick one.
Yeah, and I think they would pick Graves.
I absolutely think they would pick Graves as well. Why would you let that go past you? Man, I mean, Chovy, again, huge damage here with the Jace, showing us much like we saw from Khan the first time around. So 36,684 in 40.5 minutes of game time. But Canyon leading the charge in pretty much all factors for his team as well.
Yeah, so DAMWON do take that first step forward now, 2-1.
2-1, match point. One more victory for DAMWON Gaming, punches their ticket to the grand final. Let's see if Hanwha Life can extend this series a little bit more, tie us up 2-2, and guarantee a game 5. We're going to find out when we come back from the break.